Good morning, I'm Doug Yates with the Real Estate News Channel.
And I'm Mark Cunningham, Doug Yates' identical twin brother. And is it a good morning, Doug?
Oh, it's a great morning.
Are you sure? Do you promise?
I promise.
Be careful what you promise because it can come back to bite you now.
Oh.
In the Second Court of Appeals in California, there was a case brought before them. Aceves versus U.S. Bank. Okay? Let me tell you a little bit about what happened, and I'll tell you what happened with the ruling. But let me tell you this background. So the Aceves family was actually doing a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. Now, the difference between a 7 and a 13 is a 7 you wipe out everything basically, and you start over.
So you can't keep your house, right?
Well, you can keep your house, but only if you can continue on the payments. Okay? The Chapter 13, though, is where you actually renegotiate with the bank and all your other creditors so that you can continue to stay in your house and continue paying them. And it's kind of a just modification for all your debt. All right. So the bank said, no. Don't do a bankruptcy. We will do a loan modification. According to sources from the bank, they said, don't worry about doing that. So they said, great. Pulled it out of the bankruptcy and then didn't deliver on their promise. And the home went to foreclosure.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's some bad juju, right?
Now, I believe that's happened to many other people.
Many other people. So they took them to court and said, they promised us. No, nothing was written in writing. They promised us that they would do a loan modification and that we'd be able to do it that way instead of having to go through the bankruptcy, and it went to foreclosure. The courts have upheld 2 rulings now that an oral agreement was made and it has to be upheld. And it's reversing things.
Okay. Now, I want to just bring up a point here. This is scary because think of you as the real estate agent discussing any matter with your client. What are you saying? What is it that you are promising? Or even if you're just stating, you know what, you should be able to do this. You should be able to do that. Be careful of what is said because this court ruling will set a precedence. So this is very interesting as we're analyzing what's happening with this Aceves versus U.S. Bank.
Even if it gets overturned, the appearance of it as it gets people hear about it and other attorneys, they'll try it again. And they'll find out why it didn't stick and learn how to make it stick. So when you're talking to clients about potential short sales or things like that, be careful about touting how good you are about deficiencies. If you think you're good at wiping out deficiencies and you say, I normally get those wiped out, be very careful about that. And then any other thing that might be construed as a promise.
Yeah.
Bad news.
Bad news. So, I promise you'll have a great day.
Yeah, you better hold them to it.
Good morning, I'm Phil Bouchard.
Good morning, I'm Jeff Bouchard.
How you doing this morning, Jeff?
I'm doing great, Philip. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great, thanks. But you know, there's a lot of people that are not great. With all the new tenants we have in the Valley because of all the foreclosures, there's so much rental fraud going on out there that I've heard about in the last couple of days. It's really upsetting, Jeff.
It's been terrible.
Yeah, you know, in addition to landlords or property owners that are in foreclosure leasing to tenants, which is really wrong because they're going to have to move out in really short order once the property's foreclosed. Now we've got people breaking into vacant homes and pretending to be the landlord and locking up first month's rent and a security deposit under the pretense of being the landlord. And then they disappear. Terrible. The prospective tenant doesn't get their money back, doesn't have a place to leave. It's just horrible. Gets even worse.
What happened?
Client of ours bought a property, foreclosure property to resell. Camco and Stallion Mountain HOA had moved a tenant in the property.
I remember that.
Yeah. Obviously, that is not a really good thing. We shouldn't be leasing from HOAs. They don't have true ownership of the property.
No, they do not.
So the tenant, unfortunately, here has been victimized really bad.
So instead of buyer beware, actually, this is tenant beware.
Tenant beware, yeah. I think you guys, as a tenant, you have to qualify the owner just like the owner qualifies you.
And but wait a minute, slow down, because that's important. So what we're saying, for the first time ever, is actually the tenant is now qualifying the landlord.
Most certainly, because I think, you know, in order to be comfortable as a tenant, you need to know that the landlord is going to be able to make the mortgage payment if there is a mortgage on the property. Jeff, how do we help these folks out?
I got to tell you, I think every real estate agent out there should contact their title company and make sure that we do a title search and find out, A, if the owner is truly the owner, and if their mortgage payments are being kept up and they're paying their payments.
Absolutely. I think it's the safe thing to do. Otherwise, you might be moving in January and moving out in February.
Good luck, and make sure you call the bros.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Here's your tip of the day. Does Bank of America scare you? Well, sometimes they scare me. However, when it comes to short sales, I'm not scared of them. They're very easy to work with Bank of America. The problem, though, is that they've always taken such a long time. So a lot of realtors just won't even take any deals if it comes with Bank of America because it just takes too long. Good news. I was speaking with the director of processing from Complete Short Sale Processors, and she was telling us that they are seeing turn times now between 30 and 60 days on most Bank of America deals. Now, that's a significant change compared to what they were. And although the end investor is really the equalizer as to how fast it will get done, some of them may still be long because the end investor may just be one that doesn't work with their program well. The key factor is go after Bank of America. Don't be afraid of them because they are going a lot faster. And that is not a promise, though. So please don't hold me to it.
Hey, we want to thank you once again for watching our show with us today. And we want to thank our sponsor, Exit Las Vegas Realty Center, where they are #1 in technology, leadership, and training. And, you know, the owners are kind of cool too.
In their own mind. So anyhow, we also like to thank you for all the comments that you post below. And we want to thank you for all the articles you send. That really helps us when it comes to reporting the news that's most important to you. Well, that sounds like a good slogan, doesn't it?
It does.
Well, you know, besides these cheesy slogans, check us out on Facebook. If you're just viewing this for the first time, I'd like to have us come to your email every day so you can get good news. Click on the subscribe link, and then don't forget to check out our sponsors down below.
That's right. You guys have a great day.
See ya!
Hi, my name's Frank McGillicuddy. I'm an attorney at law. Has anybody ever promised you certain things and never delivered? Has this ever happened to you?
Hey, hot stuff.
Hey!
Let's go out. What do you think?
Oh, you know, I wish I could. Not tonight.
Why?
I've got sock drawer organizing, Tupperware stacking, grocery shopping.
Important stuff.
I promise. I
take
promise
priority.
you.
Okay.
We will do it sometime.
Deal.
Okay.
Don't let this happen to you. Even losers have rights. Call me now at 555-5555. You have rights too.
So come on. Let's go. You promised.
Don't grab my hand.
Oh, my
Let's just get this over with.